Go.
What's up, guys? It's your girl Tahmina from Conversations with Tahmina with our boy Tariq over here. What's up, guys? Say hello. Stop laughing at me.
Yo, what's up, guys? That's your shit. Let that be. This is a completely different show. This is not Conversations with Damina.
Whatever.
It's
I
your
got
boy
endorse.
Hold on.
Okay.
Okay, fine. Yeah, endorse.
Okay, please like and subscribe to my SoundCloud
Did you know
channel.
Rice Gum made his girlfriend sign a contract because, like, he knew that she was gonna earn money from being his girlfriend?
Wow.
Yeah, so he owns part of her income.
Anyways, continue. Please
So I
introduce
should
yourself.
do the.
Oh,
okay.
stop it.
Guys, so anyways, we wanted to start the video by actually talking a short story that I wrote about the Fountain of Youth, and you know what the actual cost of it is. It's a fictional story, so it's not real or by any means, but it's kind of my own take a little bit. Like, it has a little bit of a Desi type culture twist in it. And the characters' names are funny. Like, for example, the main character's name is Foutain, and the translator's name is Jabi, the key, and the town hall's representative is Madad, for help. So it's a mix of a whole bunch of cultures and like what I actually grew up with, and you know, the things that I've always wanted to like kind of like write something on, like, you know, a play, an act, or like anything, you know, and you know, Tamina's been pushing me to do that a little bit. So I wrote it down, and so I was just gonna ask Tamina on video, you know, on what she thinks, and ask you guys, you know, what you guys would do, or what you think about it, and so forth. So I'm gonna explain it a little bit, like I'm gonna go into the short story a little bit, and then you guys can, you know, kind of mellow out. Please don't get bored out. Like, you know, I want you guys to be, you know, fully attentive when you're watching this video. So if you're just passively watching it, watch it another time, dude. There's no, you know, it's fine. If you don't want to watch it, you don't have to watch it. Like,
Please watch
I understand some of my friends, you know, they only want to watch just because,
It's you.
like, you know, no, it's not just me. Just for the sake of friendship. Like, you know, they don't want to, you know, disheartened by not watching my content or whatever.
Sure.
But anyways, getting into the story, it's about the Fountain of Youth, and the main aspect of this story is that this traveler, the world traveler, he stumbles upon a so let me start from the top. So he's basically a rich, you know, kid that his parents provided him, you know, the best of toys, food, shelter, anything he needed, anything that he wanted to do, he did it. And after finishing his college degree or whatever, he decided to go on a world tour. And in South America, around the Amazon forest area, he finds a village where, you know, he's like, hey, this village has a lot of like spiritual black magic type of things that it's known for, and I want to go check this out. Like, he's like, you know, my God, that's like so interesting. Like, you know, spirits and like, you know, magic. Like, who the fuck isn't interested in magic, right? Like, it's cool. It's cool, and you want to like see it, talk it, believe it, and he just wanted to see it in real life to see if it's possible or not. So he decides, he wakes up at 5 a.m. in the morning, and he decides to walk to this village. And when he gets there, he meets the translator of the community. Her name's Jabi. You guys should read that. I'll publish the short story so you can read it in detail. She's gonna help me edit it a little bit, but I've got it written down. But he gets to the village, he meets this Jabi translator, which is the key to it all. Basically, she lets him know that, you know, what are you doing around here? You shouldn't be here alone. You should go return back to your place, because she knows the you know, how do you say it, the consequences behind, you know, what can be revealed to him being an outsider.
The repercussions.
You know, she is trying to protect her village and her basically her sanctuary, and she knows like the bad things around it too, so she doesn't want to like
open anything.
you know, open it up and harm somebody.
Sure.
In a way.
She doesn't want to unleash anything.
Anyways, after dinner, having a dinner feast or whatever, they decide to sit down. By the way, this is the first time she's hearing about this
First
too.
time, guys. First time.
So it's like a video reaction about this too. So, so so Foutain is the guy's name, and Jabi is the translator, and Madad is the town's representative, and they all sit down for a dinner feast at nighttime, because he's like, eat dinner, go back to your, you know, wherever you came from next morning. But Madad, you know, he's like, you know, tells Jabi, like, ask him, like, where is he from? Like, what world is he from? And he goes, Foutain is like, oh shit, let me show off my shit. You know, let me stunt on these village
people.
I almost said it, but
Village
I didn't.
people.
Village people, and you know, let me show them my world a little bit. So he pulls out his phone, and he basically shows him, you know, fashionable trends, and he shows them cars, and he shows them how easy transportation is, how easy things and technology has improved itself to make people's lives so much easier and stuff. And Mother looks at this and it's like, oh my god, like, where have we been living at? I want this for my own entire village. I want this for myself. I want this for everybody around me. And this is amazing. So he gets so excited that he's like, he orders Jabi to ask him, you know, if he could help us with the village. And he's like, she's like, basically, she asks Foutain, he's like, you know, what will it take for you to help us out and bring some of that stuff over into this village? Because we want to share it, we want to experience it, we want to see all this stuff. And he's like, well, you know, sure, I'll bring some stuff over, but tell me your secrets. Show me what magic that you are hiding in this village, and I want to see your treasures before I show mine or share mine.
That's
right?
interesting, yeah.
So they basically tell him that they have, after some sort of conversation, they go through the conversation, and finally Madad orders Jabi to tell him about the Fountain of Youth. And this fountain, if you bathe in it, if you drink it, it's a big fountain where a stream lies, but it's a more of like a, you know, it's a standing water area as well, where you can bathe in it, where a stream goes in and comes. So you can either drink it and you stay alive for a number of years, exceeding your life, like your mortality
Your
rate.
lifespan, sure.
You're increasing it. You're not, you know, ultimately, like, you're not going to be immortal in any way, sort of form, but it'll increase your beauty, your, you know, your mortality, your, you know, the number of years you live and everything or whatever. So Foutain's like, oh my god, I hit the jackpot, right? Like, let me see what this is about. Like, obviously he's interested in staying young forever, you know, and using his riches, or his parents' riches, by the way, because he never earned anything himself. He's like, I want to see where this brings me, and I want to see, you know, if I can use it, and if this is actually true. So he's like, well, what do I have to do to attain this type of magic? Now, Madad and Jabi look at each other, and they're like, should we tell him? You know, they know what's behind it. And it's basically a sacrifice of another human life for you to be able to use the fountain. So, which brings me to one of my first questions is, would you guys kill yourself or kill somebody to live, let's say, 30 years more than you currently do?
That's a very easy answer. I would not. I personally would not.
Right.
But I mean, the idea of immortality is very interesting. Not immortality, I guess, expanding your lifespan, but what that brings questions like, does that increase your quality of life? Do you suddenly become younger? Do you suddenly get rid of all diseases or all illness? You do?
You do. It's all in everything. It increasingly spreads your mortality, your lifespan by 30 years, like right away. And, you know, before you answer this question, like, you know, you got to think about, you know, I'm going to twist this a little bit. Don't think I'm a bad guy. I'm just like trying to get her, you know, opinion on this and stuff
Okay.
like that. So, let's say that the person that you can kill anybody in the world, and you just have to bring it to them. You just have to offer the sacrifice to the fountain for you to be able to live X amount of years. You know, let's say that the person is a rapist,
Ooh.
or a murderer, or a pedophile, right? Or you know,
Just yeah.
someone who killed somebody else.
Sure.
You know, a criminal that's, you know, rotting in jail. You somehow, through your use of connections, get him, slaughter him, or whatever. And this is getting very dark, but
No, very dark.
but I'm saying, like, you kill somebody who has done nothing but bad for the world.
Okay.
Would you not do that to increase your own life? Be very careful when you answer this, because it could lead into very bad speculations. Like, the entire world is watching you, by the way.
So as I was saying, you know, me being a doctor, it puts me in a completely different boat than I guess somebody else. But the way I would think is, I couldn't kill anybody just to save my own life. Now, if the question were to be flipped, and if you asked me, would I kill a rapist to save like 15 other people, I would.
Let me tell you what actually happens in the story.
Okay.
So, Foutain actually picks to go and choose to kill somebody, and he's like, hey, my life is more precious to me, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna kill and see what this Fountain of Youth is about. So he goes in and he murders one of his business partners that he was talking to.
Damn.
And he brings his body by the fountain, puts the blood into the fountain, says the words that, you know, I think it's Jevutunde de Fontana, youth of the fountain. And as soon as you say that, and you're putting the blood of whoever you sacrificed, it releases the Fountain of Youth. He gets it, he feels good, he extends his life, apparently. He feels fine, feels normal as he should. But as days go by, you know, it's a very dark story.
So what happens to him?
He ends up killing himself.
Why?
Before even his end of his lifespan, because he gets so he thinks about, you know, what he did, the act that he did, and how selfish he's becoming, and how he does not care anything about the world but him. And that just eats him alive. And it's like, you know, the blood that you can't get off your hand, right? You remember Macbeth?
Yep, Macbeth. Where he
she
can't, they can't
take off the blood from her hand. She's imagining it.
She's hallucinating,
but that's essentially what happens to him, and that's how the Fountain of Youth kind of consumes him into that.
So that's a curse. Of the fountain.
It's basically the curse of extending
your
life from natural, you know,
causes. Sure, natural death.
You know, increasing it from whatever the natural way is. Now, there are a couple of endings. You know, the ending's pretty dark, right? Like, he kills himself. So I've been kind of thinking about, does he really though?
But then, no.
Does he?
The thing is, hold on, this is my thing. If there was a happy ending, right? Whatever, he extends his life, he goes on to live happily ever after, that would be such a boring story. That would be.
I'm just saying I can incorporate Bill Gates in there.
How? What is Bill Gates gonna do?
Let's say that I take an example of Bill Gates and say that he realized the guilt of killing somebody, and he realized it was so bad that he went and, you know, took all of his earnings and just spread it across the world, helping like 100,000 lives instead of just...
That's still boring. Sorry guys, but I think that's boring.
And I don't think that's realistic.
It's not realistic. But, you know, I think it's really interesting because you can kind of play on the concept of the curse of the fountain. Like, initially you talked about, this guy doesn't know, like, what comes with the Fountain of Youth. Yeah, you kill somebody, but then, you know, you don't just kill somebody. You live with that guilt of killing somebody.
Right.
So that guilt, you know, we can say that the curse of the fountain is that guilt is amplified like 5 times or 10 times. You know, that's what that does.
Right.
And that guilt ends up taking your life anyway.
True. All right. Well, I kind of want to give you guys a little bit more topics about what I'm writing short stories on. So hang on one second. The next topics that I'm thinking about writing stuff on is Casanova, the 3 women, the 3 types of women that he meets, and you know, with the 3 women, the banker, the thief, and
Their interactions.
The banker, the thief, and Casanova himself. So, yeah, would you like to hear something like that, or would you like to hear Percy Jackson, you know, Zeus Oracle, or Zeus the Oracle, and you know how Percy Jackson steals Zeus's thunderbolt and creates an oracle from dragonfire. That's one of the topics. 4th topic is Aladdin's son and the Vikings. You know how lying, cheating, and murder gets you in that sort of way. Another one is Aladdin's son and the Pharaoh. How he meets the Pharaoh and reversing the spell, which causes lost at sea. Oh, which causes Pharaoh to go lost at sea. Anyways, that's one. And then there's the Deathly Hallows, which is the invisibility cloak, the resurrection stone, or the elderly wand. Should I be writing about that? Vibranium, and how you build a time machine from vibranium. Zombies during COVID-19, maybe. Transform brain from stem cell research, brain transplant to live forever. So how you can put tentacles in your brain and have the readings pay off and put it into another brain. You know. Comic spin about 2 dudes going to 2 different planets like Rick and Morty. Solar Opposites just came out with that idea too, by the way. How to build the fastest car in the world out of scraps is my last one. So, what do you guys think? Like, I'll post these topics down below, and
please
what
like
do you want to
and
hear
subscribe
about?
and leave us comments, and we'll be reading them diligently.
Yes, we will be. Thank you, and good luck.